Jesus was talking to his disciples. He spoke of the Holy Ghost power and might. When he had spoken, and as they beheld him, a great cloud received him right out of their sight. But Jesus is coming, oh, Jesus is coming. When is he coming? Just today now. Why is he coming? He's coming to get us. How is he coming on a snow white cloud? Now he walked among men as a perfect example, with God living in man, the things he can do. He left us a roadmap to carry the gospel. He gave us the power to spread the good news. But Jesus is coming, oh, Jesus is coming. When is he coming? Just today now. Why is he coming? He's coming to get us. How is he coming on a snow white cloud? Yeah. He's coming back again, not as a phantom. He's coming back again. Death could not kill, the grave could not hold him, and time can't destroy him. He's coming back again, the Savior of men. Jesus is coming, oh, Jesus is coming. When is he coming? Just today now. Why is he coming? He's coming to get us. How is he coming on a snow white cloud? Jesus is coming, oh, Jesus is coming. When is he coming? Just today now. Why is he coming? He's coming to get us. How is he coming on a snow white cloud? Jesus is coming, oh, Jesus is coming. When is he coming? Just today now. Why is he coming? He's coming to get us. How is he coming on a snow white cloud? Jesus is coming, oh, Jesus is coming. When is he coming? Just today now. Why is he coming? He's coming to get us. How is he coming on a snow white cloud?
Is it dirty? Okay, but it works.
What is up, everybody? This is the Cowboy Corner Show. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for making this show a part of your evening. And there I go again, saying tuning in. Every time I say, I'm not going to say tuning in anymore, and it's just like muscle memory. I say tuning in every show. But, you know, I appreciate you being here regardless of how you're doing it. You're clicking buttons, you're swiping left and right, and just making it happen. And I do appreciate it. I'm sitting here right now in the Cowboy Corner studio looking out my little window, and, you know, the time is changing and it's not getting dark as early as it was. And I'm seeing one of the most beautiful sunsets in the entire universe. We are blessed with that here in West Texas. And I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be here with you, my friends, my family, my fellow Cowboy Corner enthusiasts that are joining. And I'm just glad that you're here. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. I want to say thank you to Roger McDuff, as always, for singing us in with that marvelous Q-tip hair that he has going. And I mean, he just keeps going up there in the pitch and the keys, hitting those modulations about 4 times. And by the time that song's over, I mean, he's up there breaking glass, y'all. That man had some, he had a voice, and God bless him, rest his soul. He was a great evangelist. I was watching one of his, it was like from 1991, I think, on YouTube, where he was an evangelist at a church, and he refers to himself in the third person. He always calls himself Roger McDuff. He doesn't say me or I. He just says, Roger McDuff is glad to be here, and so on and so forth. So that makes me like him even more, because there's a certain level of cool that you have to be to refer to yourself in the third person. And I'm not quite there yet, but, you know, maybe by like 6 months or so, I may be able to just refer to myself in the third person on this show. That'd be cool. So anyway, I'm here by myself tonight, so I'm just talking and rambling, trying to kill some time, I guess. I'm actually not totally by myself. Conrad's in here, but he's asleep. I don't know what's up with Conrad today. He's just been kind of lazy. I don't know if he's not feeling well or what. He wouldn't eat much earlier, so I don't know what's going on with him, but he's here nonetheless, and he's still been chasing the ball and the rope and whatnot, so he's down, but he's not totally out. But anyway, there's no producer here tonight, no co-producer, just me and Conrad and our friends.
He did a big turd.
We've always got Turd Boy on
Is it
standby.
dirty? Okay, but it works.
This guy that spits Pepsi Cola on people's face if you offend him. So, we've got these guys. So anyway, I'm like Tom Cruise, in Top Gun Maverick at the very beginning where he's flying that plane solo and he's just hitting like 10 G's or whatever it is. Like that's me. I'm just hitting 10 G's right now. And speaking of Top Gun Maverick and all of that, like I wanted to just bring this up really quick. I was talking to my wife earlier before I came out here on the show, and I'm sure that she's watching, but she was like, are you going to put the picture up? And I was like, well, yeah, of course I'm going to put the picture up. Why would I not put the picture up? And I explained to her, like, you blasted me in a video in my underwear to, at this point, thousands of people. And so like, I owe you infinity. So anytime, if you're in this family, we don't care who you are. If you're in this household, you just don't need to do anything if you don't want it to potentially be blasted, because it's going to get blasted if you do something that, is embarrassing or that's funny. Like, we don't care. There's no shame. And so, especially like when you do what you do to me, then I owe you one. So to give you a backstory, I knew that she's been using these LED lights that are like, one of them's a belt. It's like a WWE World Champion wrestling belt. That's like that size, but it lights up in LEDs. And then I saw an Amazon order where there was another like a LED and it said it was a mask. And I was like, okay, I mean, whatever makes you feel good. And I didn't really know what it was. And then the other night I was, out and about doing my thing. And then I walk into the house and I go in the bedroom to start getting ready for bed or whatever. And this is what I walk into as I go into the bedroom. And, kind of like I was somewhat unexpectedly, like I knew, as I said, I knew that she had the mask. I knew it was a thing, but I didn't know that she was going to look like the evil Iron Man laying in bed with this red, like, you talk about freak a person out, and luckily I was somewhat expecting it. So I didn't totally just like scream and run off, but like that'll startle a man right there. I walked into that. And so that is what is known as an LED light mask. And I don't know what it does. I know it changes colors. So there's like a neck collar there too. It's all one piece. And those little dials on the side, they're like intensity or whatever. And you can change them from, it can be red, it can be blue, it can be yellow, it can be orange. And then you can put a timer on it. Like it's a high tech situation, you guys. But yeah, so I mean, that's what I'm waking up next to every morning. So everybody pray for me as I navigate through this situation. So anyway, that's what I wanted to open the show with, because it's my show and I can. So and I still owe you more than that, Tricia. So just be ready. Like keep them coming, and I'm going to keep putting them live and on the air for the world to see. In other news, the Cowboy Corner chicken industry, it's still booming. We brought up last week that we'd gotten in the chicken business, and so we got an update for you. So here's an update on the Cowboy Corner chicken industry. As you see, they're alive and well. They're growing. They're all moving around and about and, getting bigger. So we had to put them in a bigger, I guess you'd call that a run. It's not really a coop, because a coop is like a indoor thing that they go in. So this is now inside the shop, and I just use that plywood, and it's like 4 foot by 8 foot. And they're really happy in there, because they were in like a little, kind of like it was like a little dog kennel built like a playpen, and it wasn't very big. And that was fine when they were less than a week old. But now they're 2 weeks old, and it's crazy how fast these chickens grow. Like, I did not know that they were going to grow that fast. I knew obviously that they grow pretty big, but I was thinking kind of like at the rate of a dog or a cat, where they just like incrementally get bigger and bigger until they're like a year old and they're full grown. But like these dudes, they're packing it on, and they're eating so much. They're going through more food than I would have ever imagined. The lady told me, she was like, you probably need to buy the big bag of the chicken starter seed when I bought it. And I was like, nah, I'll be good with the little bag. She's like, okay, you're probably going to need the big bag though. I'm just going to tell you. And she was right. I need the big bag. You should listen to the people that work at the feed stores when they're telling you about feed store stuff. So anyway, I don't really know what else to do in that subject. So I guess we'll just get going on the show, since I don't have anyone here to actually, tell me what I need to do. No producers. So y'all just going to have to bear with me because we're doing this. Oh, I forgot. I got to do this. Contact the show because I can't do this by myself. As you can see, like I'm on the struggle bus right now. So I need some help. So you've got to get on the chat and join in. If you're watching the show, you got to help me out by chatting. That's what it's for. And if you don't know how to do the YouTube chat, then you can direct message on Instagram. The Instagram handle is right there, Cowboy in the Corner. And I'll get that too. It'll come right here and I'll see it. And then if you have any great material that you need to send in, or you just need to tell me to turn it off and go home, whatever. I don't care. I have thick skin. So anyway, the 2026 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees have been announced. And this is kind of like the main part of the show. Like this is mainly what I wanted to get at because it's kind of a joke. And I'm a big rock and roll guy. I mean, I was raised on rock and roll, as my sister Deborah will tell you, because she was the one that, was like feeding it to me hand over fist. She's like 10 years older than me. So that was the perfect age differential for whenever like she's, 16 in the early 80s and I'm 6 and, she's jamming out to, all the good music was in like 1986, 87, 88. I mean, you had everything from the heavier stuff I wouldn't say heavier stuff, but like the more guitar driven rock stuff of like Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard, those guys. And then you even had it all the way to like the pop stuff of, Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, all that. And we kind of just covered the whole gamut of that. But I obviously kind of just gravitated to the more testosterone driven rock and roll stuff. And so, as you can tell, I've got the handy Les Paul sitting right here, just in case, like I feel the urge, I just, pick it up and throw in a power chord or two. And, there's plenty more guitars off the screen that you can't see, but we are well stocked and loaded on musical instruments around here, especially rock and roll guitars. So when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame comes out every year, like I pay attention to it because that's right in my wheelhouse. And so here are the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees for this year, for 2026. There's 17 of them, okay? That's a good, nice, square, round number of 17. And the problem is like, okay, Billy Idol, yeah, definitely rock and roll. NXS, kind of poppy, but yeah, they had guitars and stuff, so we can consider them. Iron Maiden, yeah, they're definitely rock and roll. They're on the heavier side of life. Jeff Buckley, I don't know a lot about Jeff Buckley, but like he's kind of more soul music-ish. I would still say, okay, we're not going to, be splitting hairs here. Let him in. Now we get weird though. So we got Joy Division, which I had to look them up. I didn't even know who Joy Division is, but it's like a British pop band, kind of boy band-ish, but I don't know that I couldn't even recognize any of their songs. Like they're not even really, they're definitely not American, but I don't even think that they did much music in America. Like they're just kind of a very weird outlier. And I don't even know how they got the nomination. So this Joy Division and New Order, it's the same band, but they had different names and different eras. And like, it keeps getting weirder and weirder the deeper down that rabbit hole you go. Anyway, I don't know why they're nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Lauryn Hill is definitely not rock and roll. Like she's totally R&B. She's good. Not saying anything against any of these people. They probably deserve to be in a Hall of Fame of some sort, but not the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Luther Vandross, same thing. Luther Vandross is awesome. I have a lot of respect for Luther Vandross, but he's not rock and roll. Mariah Carey, definitely not rock and roll. She wouldn't know a rock if it hit her in between the eyes. Melissa Etheridge is another one that's okay. We can let her in. I mean, she played guitar. She had, rock-ish, kind of bluesy Americana songs, but whatever. New Edition. I mean, that's, Bobby Brown and, I don't remember all the other ones' names, but they're like not rock and roll. Oasis. Yeah, they're good. We'll let them in. Pink, I mean, the only thing good about Pink is her husband is Carey Hart. And if you don't know who Carey Hart is, he's a freestyle motocross guy. He used to own a race team, RCH. So he's pretty cool. Pink is like a total liberal whack job, and I wouldn't consider her rock and roll. A few of her songs may be kind of rockish, but no, it's more like R&B pop stuff. Phil Collins, so he's definitely fits in there. I mean, we wouldn't, nobody would really know what a drum fill is without Phil Collins coming in the air tonight, or feel it coming in the air tonight. Is Sade or Sadie? Who's that? I don't know. Never heard of her. I have no idea. Shakira, not rock and roll. She's like Latin pop. I mean, neither one of the two things would fit in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The Black Crowes and Wu-Tang Clan. So the Black Crowes, yes, I've seen the Black Crowes live a couple times, and they're awesome. The Robinson brothers. Wu-Tang Clan, that's rap, y'all. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand it. It blows my mind. Why are these people getting in? They're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, all these people didn't get in. They just got nominated, but I don't understand why. Like, what's going on? Is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just looking for, like, they're trying to get into a new group of people to pay attention to it? Because I guess, like, maybe they're considering that what we call rock and roll is kind of old and passed away, and maybe they're trying to get some new faces on the scene. I don't know, but like, you still, you can't let NASCAR drivers into the F1 Hall of Fame just because they drive race cars. Like, yeah, they're all race cars, but they're two completely different series. They're different genres. So I don't understand. And I looked this up earlier just to make sure that, like, I'm not off base. And it does say that the list spans many genres beyond traditional rock and roll. Now, this is coming from the source, and they're saying this list spans many genres beyond traditional rock and roll, reflecting how the Hall of Fame interprets its mission to include artists whose influence on youth culture or popular music has been significant, even if their sound isn't strictly rock. So that's what they're telling you. We're looking for youth culture. We don't care if the music's rock, even though it is called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like, it doesn't make sense. And then it breaks down the nominees, which we've already gone through. And I've actually got pictures of them here. So this is Billy Idol. And as we said, he's definitely a rock guy. I don't know why this looks like this picture was taken on a toaster. We did do better than this, but for some reason that picture's really bad. There's NXS. NXS is their rock with new wave and pop influences. That's what I was saying earlier. They're not rock, but they'll work. Okay, this is Iron Maiden right here. Definitely influential heavy metal rock subgenre of Iron Maiden. Now this is Jeff Buckley. So Jeffy boy here. He's a singer-songwriter rooted in rock and alternative. I wouldn't really consider it alternative, but I didn't write this. So this is this group right here. I don't even know who this is. This is Joy Division. Yeah, the ones that I was talking about that I don't know who they are, and I still don't know who they are, but this is what they look like in a black and white picture. And as I was searching this, every one of their pictures is black and white. They don't have a color picture, so they're weird. There's Lauryn Hill. As I said, she's definitely not anything close to rock and roll. And it even says here, Lauryn Hill is nominated. She's a hip hop / R&B legend. So I don't know why she's in there. There's a Luther. Now that's cool. Like I said earlier, I like Luther Vandross. Like, he's awesome. And like, if I had that set up with that cheetah rug and the cheetah head on it, and then like the matching cheetah print, and was just chilling in my black khakis and my dark brown socks, like, that's awesome. But he's an R&B soul guy. He's not rock and roll. I mean, good job, Luther, for getting nominated, but that doesn't fit you. So here's Mariah, and she has probably one of the best voices that has ever been created. I mean, if we're being honest, she's got an amazing voice, and she's another one that can hit like 10 different octaves. but she's not rock and roll. So why is she in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I don't get it. There's Melissa Etheridge, and she's holding a guitar. Whatever. I'm kind of indifferent about her. I've never really been a fan of her, but she's close enough to rock and roll, so we can let her in. Whatever. There's New Edition. They're definitely, they're not rock. I mean, again, they were cool back in the early 80s. They had some awesome pop songs, semi-rap songs, whatever you want to call it, but they're not rock and roll, but they're getting nominated into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Here's Oasis. They're pretty cool. I like Oasis. I used to jam to them back in high school in the 90s. They're on the softer side of the rock genre, but they are rock, so we'll let them in. No problem there. Here's old Phil boy, Phil Collins. He's looking a little... he's not in a whole lot of great shape. He looks definitely different than he did in the 80s, but this is a current picture of Phil. And I think that he's actually retired. He's taken some time off, so probably the rest of the time off. Here's Pink. As I said, whatever. Her husband's cool, but I'll pass on her. Now this is, I don't know if it's Sade or Sadie. It's spelled S-A-D-E. Don't know. Never heard of her. Never saw her. Don't know what she sings. I even looked it up. Nothing popped up that really caught my attention on what she sings. It's like, hey, I know that. So whatever. Don't know. There is Shakira. She does not belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. If there's a Pop Hall of Fame, Latin Artist Hall of Fame, whatever, sure, she's a first round pick, but not rock and roll. She's not rock and roll. Black Crowes right here. These guys are awesome. They definitely go in. Now check out the dude on the far right. Not sure who he is, because the only ones I know are the two, the one next to him on the right, and then the one in the middle. So that's the Chris Robinson and his brother, and so they're like the founding members. And then the guy, but he's got literally two buttons buttoned on that shirt. Like, just undo them. I mean, you've barely got. You can see pretty much everything already. Like, that just looks weird. Just go ahead and unbutton them and just take it to the house. And here is Wu-Tang Clan. And as you can see, the picture tells you, like, there's not a whole lot of rock and roll going on there. I don't see a single guitar. I don't see a drum set. I don't see anything that would constitute being a rock and roll band. So I don't know.
Something Wong.
Something is Wong with the Walk and Woe Hall of Fame. That's all I can say. They didn't ask me. They didn't call me. I'm not a member of the voting group of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I don't necessarily have a say in it, but as a critic, because that's what we do here is criticize things, I don't understand why they're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And it just caught my attention, like, maybe out of the 17, like maybe 7 of them are legitimately what I would say rock and roll or would fit in that category. The rest of them, I do not know. I don't know. So maybe if anybody else has any information on that or why that's taking place, y'all can fill me in. So with that being said, we're going to move on from that. And the other thing I wanted to touch on, I was watching baseball, obviously spring training, as we talked about, is in the mix, and college baseball is already kicking off too. So there was some college baseball going on. And I like college baseball because I just like college sports. Now, when it comes to football, I prefer college football, obviously, over NFL 9 times out of 10. When it comes to baseball, I'm going to stick with the MLB. The college baseball is lacking a little bit of the excitement, but I still watch it. I still enjoy it. But one of the things that I don't like about college baseball that really, it's kind of annoying, it's kind of like nails on the chalkboard, is they use aluminum bats in college. Basically, everybody from Little League on up to college until you get into the minor leagues of MLB, they use aluminum bats, and then they start using wooden bats as you get into the professional ranks. But just the sound that it makes when they hit the ball with the aluminum bat, I don't like it. I don't like that ding. And I'm going to kind of give you an example. So this is a guy that he's hitting a ball with aluminum bats. So
let's see what we're working with here. Let's hear it. Oh, this is going to smoke it.
It's just that really high pitch. And it just, when I watch that, when I'm watching baseball and people are hitting balls and that's what it sounds like, it doesn't sound like real baseball to me. I want to hear this. I want to hear the crack. So you hear that? That's like a shotgun blast. Now that's baseball. You hear that wood bat. He's hitting different bats, obviously, as you can see. It's showing up there. Like he's starting off with a cheap, this is a $40 bat, and then he goes all the way up to like a $300 bat, just kind of giving you the example of what it sounds like. But this sounds so much better. See, that's great. You compare that to this again. And he's breaking this bat in, so it starts sounding different.
Oh, this is gonna
It's higher pitch here than it is towards the end. See how it kind of got lower sounding. Now that towards the end where it's more of a lower pitch, crack-ish sound, I don't mind that as bad, but I don't know. There's just something about that when I'm watching college baseball, and that it just kind of bugs me. So I was just thinking that either they need to implement wooden bats, which I know that, the thing is an aluminum bat hits the ball so much further than a wooden bat because it's hollow in the middle and it just gives it a bit of like a spring whenever you hit it. And so major league guys that are really hitting hard, I mean, they would hit a home run on pretty much every hit that they got off the ground if they were using aluminum bats. I understand why they don't. But it just, something is just off. I don't like that sound, and it makes it harder to watch the college games, even the Little League games. It just makes it hard because there's just something about that sound I don't like. I want to hear the crack of the bat. I want to hear that sucker really, really take off. And here's just where baseball used to be different. I mean, this is what baseball looked like in the 80s and the 90s.
And Clark taking the runner out. Look out, here we go. Look out. And here come both dugouts.
I mean, these guys didn't play around back then. Did that today, they'd get everybody, and then, both of the benches would get totally thrown out of the game. But this made baseball exciting. This made it a lot more than what it is now, where they can't slide in on people. They've totally outlawed that. Which the reason why they outlawed it is because of the fact that they were taking people's knees out. People were getting hurt and stuff. But still, you can't take everything out of the game that makes the game what it is. And it's just like they're talking about now doing computerized strike zones. So basically taking the umpire completely out of it, where he's calling balls and strikes. They're going to make a computerized box. So this isn't happening yet, but they are discussing it, doing like a computerized box that calls the balls and strikes for you so that there's no variable in it. And, there needs to be a variable. There needs to be the human error, the human error is part of it. And if you've got a taller umpire, he's going to have a higher strike zone than a shorter umpire. But that's something that the batters have to figure out, and the pitchers. You have to figure out, okay, this guy's my umpire today, and so his strike zone is going to be here compared to the guy that was my umpire yesterday, whose strike zone was different. You have to adapt. You're a professional player, and that needs to be part of the game. We don't need to make it computerized. You're just taking everything out of the game and making it too computerized. And it would be like taking the referees out of football and just making everything where there's, lasers on the out of bounds markers and on the hash markers. And, every play, the yardage is calculated by a computer. And, then they're just moving down the field, and you have some screen or a robot or something that's just telling you where you are and where to go. And there's you're taking the elements out of the game. And I don't appreciate that. I'm old school. I want it to stay like that. I want it to stay where there's the element of human error. If you have to run a replay, if you have to go back and review it, that's part of the game. Let's just keep it how it is. So here's some more. This guy right here is crazy, man. This is Izzy Alcantara. I remember him. And he did not give any, whats. I mean, he's kicking people, punching people. Like, you don't mess with this guy. He's always been like that. Like, this is what I like. Now, they obviously suspended him a couple games after this, which they should have. Like, you can't just let somebody get away with acting like that. But, I mean, this is great. This makes the game awesome right here. Like, if you go to a game and you see this, there's just a dude, like one dude, and he's rushing the whole team. I mean, who's not going to just want to go back tomorrow night and be like, all right, what do we got now? Let's get Izzy back out here. Oh, crap, Izzy's suspended. We need somebody else. All right, here's my other argument with baseball. Why do the coaches, the managers, whatever, why do they wear uniforms with numbers? Like, these guys, they're not playing. They're not playing the game. Why do you wear a uniform? You don't see any other sport. You don't see football where the coach comes out and he's got on a jersey and shoulder pads and, you know, the full gear. You don't see basketball where the coaches come out and they're wearing shorts and a, you know, cut off sleeve basketball jersey. What's going on? It's been like this forever. I understand, but why? Like, if we're going to change something in baseball, let's let the coaches, the managers wear clothes that are like actual, like, have them come out in a suit, you know, have them at least come out in just like a polo shirt and some khakis. Like, they don't need to be wearing a uniform. Why are they wearing a uniform? Instead, we're worrying about the strike zone. We're worrying about the computerized, you know, calling the pitches and everything. No, let's get these guys, like, give them some dignity, man. They're overweight. They're older men. They don't need to be wearing a baseball uniform. It's not flattering. There's nothing flattering about that. Why do they have a number? Like, they don't need a number. You're not going out and playing. He's the manager. He's calling the shots from the dugout. He's not going out and playing. It just looks ridiculous. They come, you know, if they want to go talk to the umpire, they're mad. They come waddling out of there and got their uniform on and spitting and sputtering and throwing their hats and stuff. It's like, boy, you just look ridiculous. And obviously, like, it's a league rule. It's not necessarily their fault. I know that they would not be wearing a uniform if they had the choice to do so. But I don't know. I don't get it. Like, the priorities of wanting to change baseball are in the wrong spot. Like, let's get rid of the aluminum bats, or at least do something to them. Put a cork in them or something that's going to make them sound more appealing, where I can, you know, stand to watch a college game. And then let's let these guys have some dignity and get them in some regular clothes and just, you know, make it like less of a laughing stock. Baseball is the best sport in America. It's the, you know, America's pastime, original sport. And we don't need to change the rules of the game. We don't need to change how the game is played. We just need to make some minor adjustments. And that's the main one that I'm going to go for. So, I don't know. No other sports are doing that. Like, all the other sports, they have enough dignity to just let the players be the players and the staff be the staff. So there's my rant for that. Next up, I just wanted to go through this really quick. This is an interesting story. I don't know who remembers back in 2007, the Jamarcus Russell story. So this is Jamarcus Russell, okay? Maybe you remember him. He's the biggest bust in NFL history. And I think the reason that this is coming up is because it was the 2000 and it would have been maybe the 2006 draft. So that would have been 20 years ago that all of this took place. I'm assuming is why this came up. I don't know. So, well, I just proved that wrong because this is January 2007. So I don't know why it came up. Okay, but it came up and it's interesting and I'm sharing it with you. So January 2007, Jamarcus Russell throws for 332 yards. This is in college. LSU in the Sugar Bowl. The NFL world loses its mind. He was 6'6", 265 pounds, with the strongest arm that scouts had ever measured. He could throw 60 yards from his knees. Al Davis, who was the owner of the Raiders, the Oakland Raiders at the time, he was watching and he saw this guy and he told the coaching staff, like, we need this guy to be our quarterback. Okay. Raider scouts returned from the Sugar Bowl worried about Russell's weight and his work ethic. Like, they knew he was too big. Head coach Lane Kiffin, who was the head coach of the Raiders at the time, I told you, Lane Kiffin's been everywhere. If you need to know like who coached for what team at any time, just throw Lane Kiffin's name in the hat. I guarantee you he's been there at some point. He'll get you some points on that one. Lane Kiffin didn't want him, and he was the coach. The scouting staff had serious concerns, but the 78-year-old owner, Al Davis, didn't care. He was obsessed with Russell's arm strength and overruled his entire organization and they drafted him number 1, first pick in the draft. So Russell refused to report to training camp. He wanted $61 million guaranteed. He missed every preseason game and the entire training camp while his teammates prepared without him. After a lengthy standoff, he finally signed on September 12th. Okay, so the draft's in April. He didn't show up to do anything until September. So do the math on that one. He's sitting on the couch getting fat, not playing football while he's about to go into the NFL. He signed on September 12th for a 6-year, $68 million contract with over $31 million of that guaranteed. He hadn't even been to a practice yet. I mean, what the heck, Raiders? This is why the Raiders are the laughingstock of the NFL. Russell's first NFL season was a disaster. He started 4 games as a rookie and looked completely lost. Teammates noticed that he struggled to learn the playbook and rarely put in extra film study. His weight began creeping up from 265 to over 280 pounds, and his condition visibly declined. Over 3 seasons, Russell's numbers told a brutal story. 7 touchdowns and 18 interceptions. In 3 seasons, 7 touchdowns and 18 interceptions, and a 65.2 passer rating. His weight ballooned past 300 pounds. This guy's a quarterback, okay? He's a 300-pounder as a quarterback. Coaches couldn't get him to study, to train, or to stay in shape. The Raiders went 7-18 in the games that he started, and the coaching staff realized that they needed proof of what they had already suspected. A Raiders coach handed Russell a game film DVD. Now, for all you youngsters that don't know what a DVD is, there's a picture of one right there on that desk. It's like a CD. You had to put it in a DVD player, and you could watch a movie or whatever was, whatever kind of video was put onto that. So there you go. I think DVD stands for digital film disc. Anyway, they gave him one. They told him to go home and study it before their next meeting. So Russell came back and gave them a very detailed play-by-play analysis for nearly 3 hours. He covered formations, coverages, adjustments, but there was a problem. The DVD that they gave him was blank. Russell had faked an entire game breakdown because they knew this dude was trash. And they're like, I guarantee you he's not doing what we tell us. So let's give him this blank DVD, tell him there's something on it, and he's going to come back and tell us what we want to hear. So anyway, on May 6, 2010, the Raiders released Jamarcus after 3 seasons. He had earned approximately $39 million for a career record of 7-18 as a starter with 7 touchdowns and 18 interceptions. That's roughly $5.6 million per touchdown, or $2.2 million per interception. 2 months later, he was arrested in Mobile, Alabama for possession of codeine syrup. I prefer my syrup to be maple. And if you've ever had that maple with vanilla in it, that's really good. I highly recommend that. Make some overnight oats. And so you just put the oats in there with some milk and then throw some of that maple vanilla syrup on top of it, and then shave up some bananas, put it in there, put it in a jar, put the lid on it, throw it in the fridge. And then the next morning you wake up and it's deliciousness. That's just a tip off the subject, but that's where we went with that. The 2007 draft produced 4 first-round Hall of Famers, and Oakland took the only bust. Calvin Johnson went second. Joe Thomas went third. So Calvin Johnson's a Hall of Fame receiver for the Lions. Joe Thomas is an offensive lineman Hall of Famer that played like almost 20 seasons for Cleveland. Adrian Peterson, running back Hall of Famer from Oklahoma. He went number 7. And Patrick Willis, who was a linebacker, I believe, went number 11. Those guys are all Hall of Famers that were drafted in the same draft as Jamarcus Russell. They combined to earn 17 Pro Bowl selections and 4 gold jackets. Oakland had the number 1 pick and chose the player who couldn't even watch a DVD. So that's what they passed on, y'all. Jamarcus Russell earned $39 million to throw 7 touchdowns in 3 seasons. He never played another NFL snap. Al Davis passed away in October of 2011, still defending the pick. Lane Kiffin had been fired in 2008 after 4 games. Well, is that Lane Kiffin's fault that he had a trash quarterback that he didn't even want, and then he still gets fired? I mean, come on, man. After 4 games, the blank DVD became the defining symbol of the NFL's greatest draft disaster, the biggest bust in NFL history. So that's the Jamarcus Russell story. And I just wanted to share that because I remember when all of that was taking place, and it was, it if you're a Raiders fan, like my brother-in-law, Justin, I'm sure it was really sad for him. He was probably really frustrated. One thing about Justin being a Raiders fan is he's got to just be like very patient. He has really thick skin and he's very dedicated. And like, that's the character of a good person. If you can stick with the team like I would have left them a long time ago. I'm just telling you, if I was a Raiders fan, they haven't been good since, well, I think they went to the Super Bowl in 2002, maybe, but they got like totally destroyed by the Buccaneers. But other than that, I mean, they haven't been good in like, I don't know, 30 to 40 years. That's a long time. Kind of like being a Jets fan. If you're a fan of the Raiders or the Jets and you can hang in there for that, like you've got a good characteristic trait. And I'm sure that your spouse is, very confident in your ability to work through any type of problems and to just like hang in there when the going gets tough. Like you're just going to be in there because you're like, man, I've been putting up with just getting my tail kicked for this long. Where am I going to go now? So anyway, that's the Jamarcus Russell story. Hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, well, too bad. So next up, USA is the greatest country in the world, y'all. And, we're going through some stuff right now, but like there's no place else that I would rather be. There's no other country that I would rather be a part of. A lot of people give us a lot of crap, but I mean, we just kick everybody's ass. And that's basically all it boils down to. And the president that we have right now, like I'm just so proud of him and happy that he's got a set of nuts, cojones, and he does what he says. He's not full of crap like these other guys that make these empty threats and then they don't do anything. And, I'm not for like going and blowing anybody up. Like I don't want any of that to happen, but you've got to be able to say something and then back it up. And that's what he does. And these other countries, they're going to start learning that. Like they've had, weak United States that's had their tail between their legs for the past, probably since Reagan, I'm going to say. I mean, Reagan was pretty aggressive. He didn't, he settled that whole deal with the Russians. We didn't have to go blow anybody up really, but he was pretty hardcore. And then since then, it's just kind of been like a neutral zone here. And these other countries that are obviously anti-American and then have been infiltrating our country with their own people to kind of do an inside job. And then in the meantime, they're over here, building this other stuff up. Like, they've got to come up and we've finally got a guy that's doing it. And I'm just like, I don't care what you think about President Trump. He's awesome. He does what he says and he doesn't take crap. And that's just really cool. So just wanted to play this because this is what he said last night. That was a really cool clip. And is it going to play or?
Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations. For many years, you have asked for America's help, but you never got it. No president was willing to do what I am willing to do tonight. Now you have a president who is giving you what you want. So let's see how you respond. America is backing you with overwhelming strength and devastating force. Now is the time to seize control of your destiny and to unleash the prosperous and glorious future that is close within your reach. This is the moment for action. Do not let it pass.
Heck yeah. So, he's led this attack to do all this, but what he's doing is opening that up for the people of Iran to have their country back. Those people, the citizens, they're not like, they're just there. They're kind of stuck and they've had little to no freedom, little to no say so in anything. And they're not bad people. Like they're just stuck in a place that they can't get out of and that they're not given any resources to do anything with. And, he's opening that up. And so, it's great. Like I'm totally for that. So Iran has won the coin toss and they have chose to receive. And this is what they're getting, ladies and gentlemen. They're getting smoked.
Finally.
Intelligence reports confirm that multiple high-ranking Iranian officials have been eliminated so far in Operation Epic Fury. Sounds like something out of a Call of Duty game, right? Epic Fury. Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, has been confirmed dead. He kind of looks like David Letterman. So David Letterman, like, kind of lay low, buddy. You might be mistaken for somebody, so just heads up on that. This is really cool right here. I don't know who's outside actually, like, videoing this. I wouldn't be. I'd be looking for somewhere to cover. But, like, this, they shot a missile at a U.S. Aircraft, and, like, this is our pilots, man. This is how they get out of this stuff. This is crazy. I don't know what that red circle meant, but that thing blows up, and that fighter jet is Gandhi, boys. This is cool right here too. This is from Fox News. So this is the moment that they launched the attack there off of our U.S. aircraft carriers. I've just always been really, like, amazed with military jets. They're really cool. And then this is the imagery of things actually being blown to hell and back. Not back, just blown to hell. It's pretty cool.
What I can say
and then here's where they
right
really
now, we're just getting word that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia says they
really
will
screwed up because they
join
bombed
the
some
US
stuff on Saudi Arabia's land.
in the operation against the Islamic Republic of Iran. They said that this comes in the wake of Iran attacking the U.S. base in Saudi Arabia. I just spoke to a senior U.S. official who said the Iranians made a big mistake by firing on Arab coalition partners. Now they are likely to respond. So by Iran firing missiles at UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan, they are now likely to fire back at Iranian targets. So those coalition partners are now going to enter this operation that started off as a U.S.-Israeli operation. That is very, very significant, and we haven't seen that happen in the past. The U.S. military has been focusing on high-value targets, I'm told, the IRGC, significant facilities.
So they thought they were bombing, you know, I mean, obviously they didn't think they knew what they were doing, but they were going to just bomb U.S. stuff, but they went after our embassies and stuff in other countries. And so they bombed on their land, which would be Saudi Arabia. They bombed in Qatar. They bombed in Bahrain. Now, all of those countries have awesome F1 tracks. And so, you know, the F1 season is upon us. So I'm hoping personally that that doesn't affect the F1 season. But anyway, those countries now, they're like, okay, buddy, like you blew up stuff on our land, so now we're throwing our hats in the ring. So they may have got a little more than they bargained for, because those countries right there, number one, I know Qatar definitely, like that whole UAB over there, they've got more money than they even know how to spend. Like they just build the tallest buildings in the entire world simply because they can. And they've got, you know, you think the oil money in the United States is a lot. You go over there, buddy, and you've got some like major money. Those countries, and they've got, obviously the United States is backing them, so they can fund it. United States can build it. And, you know, Iran's gotten a little, those people are right in their backyard. They got a little big for their britches there. Here's David Letterman. As I was saying, he kind of looks like that guy that I can't pronounce his name. So just take it easy there, Dave. Lay low for a few days. Don't come out of your apartment. You know, have everything door dashed to you. Let this kind of blow over. Definitely don't put a toilet bowl cover on your head and walk outside, because might not be good for you. I just thought this was great. The Great Cornholio. If you've ever seen Beavis and Butthead Do America, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't ever seen Beavis and Butthead Do America, I don't recommend that you watch it. But, you know, if you have, you have. Breaking news. Jordan says it shot down 2 Iranian ballistic missiles. LeBron never did that. Dad joke. So I guess that we are done covering the news. Here's our memes of the week, and then we will end this show and send you on your merry little way. Sometimes it's just not your day. Let's see what happens here. Oh, so she got smoked right in the face with a volleyball. Bad deal, right? Nobody wants that to happen. They're getting her off. What? Here comes round 2. I mean, The first one, I mean, that happens. Hang on. All right. What's going on here? Like, they're obviously not ready to play. The game, this is not the game. Okay, if you look over here on the far right, they're in like a warm-up line. And then these two in the yellow, they're standing there like they're getting ready to play, but the game's not on yet. So, okay. Here we go. It was like a practice warm-up shot. She just smokes this chick right in the face. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. Okay, she smokes her out the face. Boom. I mean, she's not even looking. She's totally clueless and just gets smoked with that volleyball. Okay, they're getting her off. She's probably got a black eye. And then this other one. Okay. Let's pay attention to the second girl. Where does she come from? What's going on here? Here comes girl number 2. And hits her in the back of the head. I mean, you need to go back to the locker room, put on your street clothes, because you're not a baseball manager, so you don't have to wear your uniform. But you need to just go put on your street clothes, call it a day, be like, I'm gonna sit this one out, coach. I'm not feeling like playing tonight. Like I'll be back next week. I'm setting this one out. Okay, here we got this guy on his adventure bike. He's being coached. All right, he's gonna have to. The guy in the jacket's coaching him, telling him what to do. Got to cross this water. Yeah, all right, you got it. You're getting a little squirrely, buddy. Oh, no. That's a really expensive bike to be totally waterlogged like that. Okay. Yeah, he's done. Okay, this is how you do it. Just kind of, keep the throttle nice and steady. Don't jerk it. Don't twist it. Just keep a steady throttle. And then, I don't know, he got out of shape somehow. Never could gather that thing back up. And now he's got a couple of grand in engine repairs to do, because that thing just sucked in a whole lot of water. This guitarist is at the wrong gig. He is definitely at the wrong gig, but he's headbanging to some Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton. Cover song, of course. Nice rendition, though. I think that's the girl from Dirty Dancing. I don't know what she's thinking. Maybe she did leave the stove on. Something's definitely on her mind. She's there, but the lights are on, but nobody's home. Great song though by Christopher Cross. Sailing. I'm a yacht rock connoisseur guy. There's a station on Sirius XM that's nothing but yacht rock. And the other night, a couple weeks ago, we went and got Trisha. We had bought her a new vehicle, and it came with the free Sirius XM subscription for like 90 days or whatever. So we were headed home, and I put it on the Yacht Rock channel on the Sirius XM because that's my jam. And I think it lasted for like 30 seconds, maybe a minute at the most. And she was like, "What the heck? Change this. It's terrible." I was like, "Well, I like yacht rock." So that's what I listen to when I'm jamming by myself. This video shows the importance of eyebrows.
Check this out.
I don't know what kind of razor that is. It's very efficient, though. He looks like the Math. That's pretty scary. That's almost like the waking up next to the LED red light mask. Just kind of the opposite effect. Oh no, she's back.
I'm at Harris Teeter, and I'm going to see how
What the heck is Harris Teeter? Is that a store? I've never heard of a Harris Teeter. If there's anything purple to be found, this chick right here, she's got it.
And my papa, my papa, and my papa, my papa, papa, my papa,
I wonder how long it takes her to actually record one of these. Like, does she walk around every aisle of the store and then she has to edit this all together?
OMC, even the label is purple. Look at all this purple. More purple. More purple. More purple. More purple. And more purple. More purple.
How long does this go? They go forever.
More purple. More purple. More purple. More purple.
I bet that's good though. The purple Fanta. I like orange Fanta.
More purple.
Purple mush oats? No thanks.
More purple. More purple. More purple. More purple. More purple.
Praise God, finally. What is a Harris Teeter?
A Harris Teeter is a regional supermarket chain based in the southeastern United States. They're known for offering a wide variety of groceries, often with a focus on fresh produce, prepared foods, and a good selection of local and organic products. They also often have pharmacy services and fuel centers at some locations. So it's basically a well-known grocery store chain.
Never heard of it in all of my time. Never heard of a Harris Teeter. But apparently in the Southeast, it's a popular grocery store chain. Okay, what else we got, ladies and gentlemen? When you're hiring new people, we need to hire some new people. These are the new people. Yeah, it's a tough go of it out there, y'all. Like, to find competent folks, it's very difficult nowadays. And you know, in a position of being in a workforce, it's just kind of like, what are we going to do? We have people that, you know, in our industry and out here in this part of the country, oil field related stuff and everything is really spread out, and it's all down like, dirt roads, like, you know, off of the highway, off the beaten path. And these roads, they don't have names. I mean, you've got the main roads that have names, but to get to a specific location or a well or, you know, whatever company property to service their equipment or make deliveries or whatever, like, you just have to know where stuff is, because there's no address. But like, people, they can't even get like out of city limits without having a GPS coordinate or, you know, something to have their phone on to get to. And it's like, I don't understand. I mean, you know, when I was doing that part of it, deliveries and going to locations, and there was like, cell phones were kind of a thing, but they didn't have maps on them. Like, it wasn't that technologically advanced yet. And so it was like, you had to just know, okay, it's going to be 6 miles down this road, and then you would turn at the yellow cattle guard where they have a tire hanging off of it, and then you would have to go and, you know, around a S curve, and there's going to be a trailer house right there, and you go right past the trailer house and turn at the fence, and like, you just had to figure stuff out. And it's like, nowadays, man, if you don't give somebody, and here's the other thing, like, a lot of times when you do give them a GPS coordinate, the way those roads are laid out, that the way that GPS tells you to go is not always, more times than not, honestly, it's not the best way to go. And sometimes you can't get there at all that way, because things are, you know, it kind of finds a road on the map, but that's not actually a road. Or perhaps there's a fence there, or perhaps it goes through somebody's private property or things like that. And like, you have to be able to figure it out, but these people, they can't do it. And it's so frustrating. It's so like alarming, honestly. And we try to help people, but like, you can't, like, people have to be able to, they just have to put in the effort to want to know how to do something and want to learn it and want to be efficient. And they're not. They rely on an electronic device for everything. And if that doesn't tell them exactly where to go or how to do it, then they just give up. And it's really sad. But anyway, that's for another show. So this is a Wendy's training video from 1989.
Pound the cheese in a juicy spot, but don't leave it too long or it'll get too hot. Tool it up, lay it off on the meat. Do it right, keep it neat. Drain then serve on a bun just so. Don't touch it with your fingers, that's a big no-no. To make a double cheese for someone big and mean, use two full patties with the cheese in between. Don't melt the cheese, the patties have heat. Press them together and it's complete. Drain and serve like you did before, and you can handle any dude who walks through the door.
And yes, they did really play that whenever they hired new people to cook at Wendy's. They really did play them that video in 1989. So just so you know, I researched that myself, and it is true. Okay, this guy, you can tell this is circa 2020 because everybody's wearing masks. And he's thinking it. Is he going to do it? Oh, he's lining it up. Oh, just a tap. And down she goes. That's all it takes, man, on that little behind the knee. They call it the dead leg, or that's what they used to call it. That thing will get you, man. Get you every time. This is one of the greatest hits in the entire history of television shows.
Kisser, show that knight who's boss.
Watermelon slingshot, and I mean, wow. That is intense. You're probably talking like a fractured orbital. At the very least. Maybe a fractured skull. I don't know.
Listen, once my skin clears up and I lose 20 pounds, shave my legs, and learn how to properly do my eyebrows, and get a whole new wardrobe, comb my hair, and become mentally stable, it's going to be over for all of you.
And become mentally stable, it's going to be over for all you. Bleep. How is a computer going to ask me if I'm a robot? Man, you're a robot. That happens all the time now. Like you're just trying to get to a website or something, and it wants you to like pick how many cars you see in the picture or whatever, and then it says confirming you're not a robot. Like, bro, you're a robot. Shut up. The original patent from 1891 for a toilet paper roll. This shows the correct rolling direction in case you ever doubted. That is one thing that I cannot stand for is whenever the toilet paper rolls from the back. I'll change it. I don't care if I'm in like a public restroom or whatever. If I'm in there doing my business and it's rolling back from the opposite direction, I'm turning it around. I can't do it. I don't know who this man is, but I do know that his wife was out of town for the weekend. They're getting it, boy. Looks like I think that may be like some kind of a Husqvarna from the 70s. Look at the grin on that kid's face up front, man. And they're just like, he's got his elbows down. Like he's got the proper technique going. That's a great picture. And I guarantee you either his wife was out of town or he was sleeping elsewhere for a while whenever they got back, if she wasn't. I found this rare Michelle Obama rookie card. Bet that thing's worth some coin, baby. Hoss. That movie that you want to watch, it isn't available on any of your 17 streaming services, but you can rent it for $9.99. Yeah, this happens more often than I would like for it to. We have, basically every streaming service that there is, other than I don't have Netflix, and I don't like some of the kind of more obscure ones like Discovery Plus or MGM. Though, like we don't have those, but we've got the main ones. We should have all the bases covered, right? On the movies, they should be streaming on, one of the HBO Max, the Peacock, the whatever. I don't even know what all we got. We got the Disney Plus. We've got the ESPN Plus, so I get all the 30 for 30s. Like I've got the whole gamut, and more often than not, we're looking for a specific movie, and it's just like, nope, you're gonna have to rent it. I don't understand. When they ask you for a tip at Subway, like we didn't just make that sandwich together. It's kind of like last week where we were talking about like the self-checkouts, how they should send you a W-2. Like you're helping them make the sandwich. They're putting, the physical act of putting the ingredients on the bread, but like you told them how to make the sandwich. You told them what you wanted if they did it right. And I'm a big advocate of Subway. I really enjoy a Subway. There's two really good ones that are here local that I support. And So I don't have an issue with Subway. But yeah, I'm not giving you a tip when I helped you make that sandwich. Shout out to my sister, Deborah. She used to have one of these cars. Hers was not purple. It was more of gold. But yeah, people really used to walk into a dealership and be like, yep, this is the car I want to finance for the next 5 years. Funny thing, like whenever they did first come out, it was probably like 1998-ish. I thought they were really cool. But I thought that they were going to be like a vintage roadster kind of. That's, you know, that's what they were kind of going after. And a lot of them had like the wood paneling on the side to make it look like the old surf wagons. And I thought they were cool, but I thought they were going to be like more, there was going to be more to them. I thought they were going to have like a pretty powerful engine, and you could do some stuff to them, like put some really cool rims on them and really make them look cool. And come to find out, you really couldn't. They were like the lowest of the food chain in the Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, inventory there. And they just were very underwhelming for what you thought they were going to be. But if you have one, you take it to get the $14 deluxe car wash instead of the $7 standard wash. That's me, man. And actually, so I took my truck to get washed the other day, and they gave me a free coupon, so I get a free wash. But I think I either have to use it by tomorrow, because tomorrow's the first of the month, right? Or I may have had to use it before the first of the month, which if that's the case, I already missed out on it, but hopefully not. If not, I'm going to wash my truck tomorrow. Yeah, I think I've had enough of this thrifting thing. I mean, that one still got the shart in it. Like, that's too much. And I probably wouldn't have even thought to look in there. I'm glad that this person did. But it's like, so, you know, whoever was the previous owner of these Goodfellow jeans, they, you know, let one had some gravy leg go off in there, whatever the situation was. We don't know. But instead of deciding they're just going to, you know, wash the pants, they was like, hey, I'm just going to trade them in. So they took them. They didn't clean them, and then they took them into the thrift store. Obviously, the people that are running the thrift store didn't look or just didn't care and hung them up. I mean, this went through, you know, a handful of different people to get from one stage of the incident to the final stage of being on a rack somewhere for resale. And I mean, there's a gamut of people that were either unaware or just didn't care. But needless to say, yeah, I'd be done with the thrifting thing too if I was in that situation. When you're over 35 and you're awake past 9 a.m., call me Nighthawk. Or did I say 9 a.m.? 9 p.m. Hopefully you're awake past 9 a.m. or else you need to get a job. Yeah, I'm feeling that. I mean, I'm usually up past 9, but I'm starting to wind down. You know, I'm starting to notice that I'm still awake and I shouldn't be. Now, there's also a situation with me personally where 2 different time zones are involved, because I spend a lot of time between Texas and New Mexico, and they're obviously in 2 different time zones. So I kind of have to finagle where I actually am and what time it is, and use that to, you know, kind of navigate what I actually have going on. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling it, because if it's 9 a.m., 9 p.m. in New Mexico, it's already 10 in Texas. So for what that's worth. We all know this guy. He's letting his beard grow out. That is a ugly freaking dog, man. I don't know if I had a dog that looked like that, I really don't know if I could love it. I don't know what I would do, because like I can't with that. I couldn't take it anywhere. I wouldn't want it to touch me. I would, like, it's not going to get in my bed. I don't really know. I don't think I could love that dog, and I don't know what I would have to do with it. I'm glad that Conrad is really cute and I don't have that problem. Here are the signs that a woman likes you. She makes eye contact, twirls her hair, laughs at your jokes, keys your car, or kills you. Yes, women are very unpredictable. And you don't know, like, you know, I remember, especially back in elementary school and stuff, like these girls would chase me around the playground, and if they ever caught me, they would like start punching me and beat the crap out of me. Like literally, they would push me down. They were mean. And then come to find out, like one of them had a crush on me. I'm like, I don't understand. What's going on right here? You're literally trying to physically harm me because you think you like me? I mean, I don't know. And then it's still like that. I mean, now me and my wife are in our 40s and, she still beats me up and then tells me that she loves me and I'm irresistible and she can't live without me. So I don't know. The whole women thing is you have to be prepared for it. Like, that's why I encourage people, like, if you're really young, like, don't get in too deep. You can do the dating circuit and you can, test the waters out here and there, but that's what you got to do is test the waters. Like, we're not getting too serious because you get in too deep and you don't know, again, like, it could be, I'm just going to stop while I'm still ahead because my wife's watching this and I don't want to end up having to stay in the studio tonight. So I thought I was a good person, but the way I react when people drive slowly in the left lane would suggest otherwise. You don't even know. You do know because I've talked about this numerous times. Yeah, I'm not going to go down that road. I'm keeping everything like super cool tonight. And that's my goal, is to not get my blood pressure up, because if I get, especially on this subject, if you get me going on the way that people drive, it's like another level. Inflation has completely destroyed my understanding of what things should be worth. $10,000 for daycare. Yeah. Okay. $100 for breakfast. Okay. But then also you can get the biggest TV you've ever seen in your life for $500. Yeah. I remember when TVs used to be, like for a big screen TV, if we're going back even not too long ago, like even say the early 2000s, you had those, they weren't really flat screen TVs. They were kind of in like a box shape, but they were flat and you could still get like probably a 60-inch TV was like the biggest one you could get. Those things, they were like $3,000, $3,500 or so. And now it's like you go to Walmart and you can see, they'll have like a 48-inch TV for $99 or something like that. So I'm like, where are we getting off here? Like, these Chinese electronics are so big, but like so inexpensive and so big. But if I want to go take the family out to IHOP and, we all just get some eggs and pancakes or whatever, I'm going to spend like $150. And I mean, 150 on that. Like the whole logic doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Stop giving kids Bible names, but not Bible lessons. Moses tried to rob me last night. It's true, because, and I'm not calling anybody out. Like, I like all of the biblical names. Like, I think that's the way to go. If I had more kids, I would definitely be naming them like Rahab and whatever. But you got these kids that are always getting in trouble at school and stuff, and their names are always, Ishmael and Israel, and you got the Moseses, and like, if you're gonna give them those names, that's great, but you got to teach them the principles to go along with it, right? Like, the names mean something. And so that's kind of what the name is. Like, especially the biblical names, they were named to represent something, and you just got to hold it to what it's supposed to be. So anyway, I guess that's it, because that's the end of my slideshow there. So I guess that's all that we had on the Cowboy Corner show for tonight. And I appreciate you watching. Once again, I am the Cowboy, and I'm in the corner, and I flew it solo tonight. I didn't crash the plane. So no producers tonight, but we made it happen. It may not have been the best show that you've ever seen in your life, but it also wasn't the worst show. As always, contact the Cowboy. Join the chat on YouTube. You can always send the information on Instagram, direct message. We're always looking for material, because that's where it comes from, is the viewers that help out. And I appreciate you whenever you do help out. I thank you for tuning in once again. That's going to be it for the show. And as Roger McDuff said at the very beginning of the show, Jesus is coming, and he's coming pretty soon. And if you look in the Middle East, I mean, it could be right now, it could be within the next few days. And so the next few moments. So with that being said, I just want to give everyone that's watching an opportunity. If you have not received Jesus as your Lord and Savior, there's no reason that you shouldn't, because you should definitely be feeling that calling in your heart right now if you haven't done it. So I want to let's see the chat here. What's up, Elijah? He's telling the truth. His wife is ruthless. I'm glad that Elijah has my back. Some of the baddest kids have biblical names. That's exactly right. I mean, I know that there was a Malachi at one point that my oldest son Cooper, he had a deal going on with a kid named Malachi. And I was like, man, you're like the high priest, bro. And here you are like beating up on a kid that's a couple years younger than you in 6th grade or whatever it was. Like it was a crazy deal. But anyway, back to what we were doing. If you've never received Jesus as your Lord and Savior, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do that right now, because I don't want Jesus coming back and you not being here to enjoy the ride, as they say. So all you got to do is say this after me. Say, Heavenly Father, I just thank you that you sent Jesus to this earth to live a perfect and sinless life and to die on the cross for my sins. I receive what he did, and I'm so grateful, Jesus, that you took that for me so that I don't have to. And I thank you, Father, that you sent him to redeem me, and now I am set free. I am considered sinless. I am washed clean, and I have my ticket to heaven. And I just thank you for that opportunity. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, if you said that prayer with me, I want you to reach out, let me know that you did, so that I can celebrate that with you, because that's obviously the biggest decision that you've ever made in your entire life. And I want to know if you did that. So anyway, if you did, let me know, and I'm going to celebrate that with you. And we will even send you some information if you need it. If not, then we're all good. We're all going to go together. So until next week, I'm going to sign off of here. I appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you watching. And we'll meet back again next week. We'll have the whole crew here. The producers will be here, and the show will be much better. So thanks for watching. Once again, I am the Cowboy. I am in the corner. And that's all for this week. See you later.